Going. Oh yeah, we're there. Boom. Hello, Tommy. What's happening?
I'm good. How are you?
Tommy, I tell you what. Thursdays,
Yeah,
favorite day of the week, actually, on paper.
because it's
But
boxing. Oh.
slowly turn. Yeah, because it's boxing, but also just because I love a Thursday. Um, you
Friday
know,
Eve?
first Thursdays. No, I'm joking. But thirsty Thursdays. No, but it's turning into the busiest day in the world. I think at Jeff
You
for everyone.
you're preaching to the choir. I
I mean,
feel since Pilates this morning, I haven't had a moment.
yeah, no. It's but listen, I'm not here. Mustn't grumble, can't complain. I'm I'm here to I'm here.
Yeah.
Been at the office since about 5 a.m. Still here. I
Mhm.
brought a suitcase. Actually brought a suitcase of clothes to the
For your
office
wardrobe
today
change.
because that's how many times I've had to work out. And you know me and my jackets and my sweats. It's unbelievable. Anyway, hello
Wait.
Gavin. How are you?
Well, I feel like the moment you cross your legs is the moment you're ready to chat. Because mine also crossed, just by the way. I can see the way you're sitting. Do you want to, first of all, Gavin, hello, everyone, welcome.
Hello.
Tell
Hello.
everyone why we're a little bit late.
We are a little bit late because we have started coaching team, as
No,
you know.
that is
Uh,
not the reason.
why are we late? What was I
Are we
doing?
talking about your suitcase, the wardrobe
Oh,
changes to match the background?
oh, dummy. I thought we were late because we have started coaching and we were both in initials and
That's it.
it's all happening. But you are right. Uh, and I was changing team because it wasn't this complex. I'm still looking awfully like purple. I'm not sure I agree with this color. Look at Dom. Dom looks angelic, Capetonian. Just
I've got like a
you know,
yellow tone. It's the
Dom's like in,
downlight.
Dom's in like golden hour, and like sunset.
Midday
Wow,
goal.
I'm like pasty from the UK, sweaty, red faced, terrible. Anyway.
Oh my
Listen, who
goodness.
have we got? Lauren, hello. Hello. Thank you for calling us amazing. I feel like I needed that today, right now.
Ace in
And
the building. Trevlin
and
is here. So
Trevlin.
Trevlin's
So we,
actually doing my basic form course. Trevlin, I don't know if you're doing the complex course as well, but Greg and I, since we're running both courses, we wanted to check in the first week if there were any questions, if there was anything interesting that you learned. But this was basically the platform between the basic and the form course from Greg and I. Do you have any questions? Is there anything that's unclear? Or was there anything interesting that you learned? We wanted to give this platform for you to ask us live. We do know that it is a bit of an awkward time in the day, being midday. So if you are watching on catch up, you can pop a comment. Greg and I will check it this evening and tomorrow just to see if you had any
absolutely,
questions.
absolutely, Tommy. You are right on the money. I'm just trying to find how does one, because I see there are a couple of posts which I need to get to. It's just been a bit crazy, but on the app, Domi, I think I had a question from someone. Can't remember now, but they said to you when you want to find the course material like quickly and easily on the app. What was your direct route for that? Can we just answer that to start, and then we can go into questions if they come up.
Very easy. I'm going to open my app now quickly. So obviously when you sign up to a course on the club app, think of a course, a training program, and nutrition as a bundle. So we're going to start from the top. It's going to then have your training. The second line will be nutrition, and then the third line will be the course. So if you look at your app, oh gosh, I was hoping.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this. I want you to do this for everyone so that they can get understanding. Yeah.
So then you're going to click on your mindset dot, the little yellow one.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see this. I've signed up to my own course. I actually did it as a user experience. So you're going to click on the fix my form. And it's going to take you to the next page. And that when you scroll down, you've got the video right there. So today, everyone's doing push-ups, mountain climbers, and commandos from my basic form course. When you click on the module title, then your video comes up. So then you can actually see it over there.
Okay, so it's not the chat team. This is where I'm remembering the question now on a comment. The chat is in the group under the group button, right? So like when you go to your groups, that's where you're going to find what other people are engaging on, and that's we're moving more and more towards that, team, and we want you to start engaging on that platform. So and soon there's going to be we've got some cool things coming, but the point is so don't go to your groups. That's basically what I'm saying, is that it's very easy to think, I'm doing the form course, I must try and go to the group. You're not going to get the content there. That's the chat. The content is like you would find it in your exercise program. Thank you, Domi. I wanted to clear that up.
Pleasure. Always start on my day. I just quickly want to greet a few here. So I see Michelle also joined us. Julia is here. Julia is one of my friends. I'm very happy to see her here. Coach Taz is here. Nance is here. I've got Nicole is here. So it's cool to see a few of you here. Please use this opportunity. If you are doing either Greg or my course, if you have questions, you can ask now. If you're just wanting to listen, that's fine. But a lot of the questions that I've received have been all in that group chat. And a lot of them have to do with injuries. So someone's saying, okay, I've got a shoulder injury. I've got a knee injury. And team, if you do my entire course, no matter what injury you have, when I show you the exercises, I've spoken to both variations. So I've given you the variations there. So I've shown you how to decrease load. I've shown you how to do low impact. You just have to be a little bit patient with yourself and not try jump the gun. You've got 2 weeks to do this course. I mean, you can always do it ahead if you want. But you've got 2 weeks to complete this course. And then afterwards, pop as many questions as you want into the group chat for the course. And then we can get to it quite easily.
Yeah. Good, Domi. Good explanation there. I mean, I've been kind of reading through comments as the week's gone on. I've not actually engaged yet. As you know, we've had strat days, and then it's just been manic. But a couple of things that have come up, largely related to so when it comes to the complex stuff. I mean, I'm just going to talk a little bit about it because I see Nancy's written here, and she's saying she's loving will this course make me Superman? Ed, what are you saying? I'm looking jacked, my man. Yes. I needed that. Maybe you're not. Maybe you just something else. No, but we speak about the first couple of exercises that we talk to, and what you'll find, guys, is that the fundamentals stay the same, Domi. And I don't know how similar it was in your course. I actually need to watch your course.
I need to watch yours.
Yeah, I know, but and that's cool that we didn't, because it means that we gave a fresh perspective for each course, which is great. We'd rather that than keep harping on about the same stuff, right? So, but what Louis and I came to terms with very quickly was, like, if you go through day one, like, was deadlifts, and we had kettlebell swings, then we had et cetera, as we moved through. What happened was there's similar kind of checking points. We refer to them as checking points, and like starting points. And so it might feel like you're repeating it yourself, but you have to get that into your head when you're going through these things. Because, and let me tell you why, is because when you get tired, okay, the first thing your body wants to do is lose form. That is like that. You hear us say that in every single workout. Maybe, or certainly in my workouts, Domi. I know you're so focused on form, and Pilates is a slower, a lower impact, And actually,
there's a flow sequence to it.
Yeah, there's a sequence, but obviously form there is probably, if not more important, in Pilates, because you're right, you can use the wrong muscle groups, etc. But like a classic example is if I'm doing, say, Amy gives me 40 seconds of half jacks, super tiring, like half jacks, super tiring exercise. And by the end of that 40 seconds, then she goes, now I want you going straight into 40 seconds of kettlebell swings. Obviously completely different, right? The one you like, it's a push movement, you're jumping up into a half squat. The other one, you're not squatting, you're hinging, and you're meant to be swinging, right? Now, this is just a random example, but when you're tired, your natural inclination is you're going to bend forward using your back. You're not going to hinge from your hips. You're going to try and squat down with the weight, or you're going to lift too heavy. So these are all things that that we kind of touch on. But to refer back to my original point, it was that I think you as well, but we have these like checking points that will remain constant throughout whatever movements whatever movement comes your way. So that's a bit of a summary, I think. Is that fair?
Yeah, 100%. And I think what's quite nice and what complements our courses together is that when you do the basics, for example, module 2 is how to contract your core. If you're doing a kettlebell swing, you're contracting your core. If you are doing a kettlebell swing, you're doing hip hinges. Like there's so many components in the complex that if you don't have the basics waxed, the complex is going to be quite tough. So I feel what's quite nice is that I've done like one movement and you've done your combination complex movements. And I feel both equally doing them one after the next, I think is probably the best thing you can do, because then once you've done your month on our 2 courses, or maybe you do it sooner, when you do maybe a higher a HIIT class or something like that, that's maybe a little bit more faster pace, quick transitions, it's going to tire you quite quickly. I think it's
the thing we talk about a lot, because obviously we've got half an hour to give you a workout a lot of the time. Obviously in the programs it's a little bit longer, but in order to keep it interesting, we try and mix things up. And in order to mix things up, your transition periods are quick, so you need to be able to, it needs to come second nature to you to get into the right positions, checking points, and then start. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's such a good point. Domi,
I see there's a message from Lisa here saying that I'm going to pop that question back up, Henny. She said she didn't enjoy the curtsy lunges, too easy to do them with bad form and twist the knee. And you know what? A curtsy lunge, it's so true. How many times do I see that knee knocking in? There is a little bit of a twist there. If you find a curtsy lunge is just not working for you, don't worry about doing them. Rather go to your basic form of a general squat. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but it will take some practice. Use a mirror, record yourself. There's a lot of, I also spoke, you spoke about checking points. I also called them like a full body scan. Where's your head? Where's your neck? Where are your shoulders? What are you doing with your core? Hips, knees. We basically scanned you from top to tail, because that's what's important, right? You can't just focus, okay, you hear that the core is your powerhouse, yes, but it doesn't mean you must now neglect your head position, your chest opening up, little things
100%.
like that.
100%. Domi, just to touch on that as well, and to extend on the curtsy lunges, this is also, I guess, a good platform, because you covered curtsy lunges, we didn't. Curtsy lunges, you said go to a squat, right? Is that what you said as the alternative? You could also go to a simple just reverse lunge. Because that's, and I'm not arguing with you, I'm playing the idea of it, because I just filmed with Sari a bit earlier, and we did curtsy lunges, and she said something that resonated with me really, really well, and that was that when you're doing a curtsy lunge, you've got to have the right space, okay, and you've got to trust the space around you. So you've got to be in a good, solid, like where you're not worried about slipping or anything like that, and also you have to trust the movement, because the movement requires, and I don't know if you said this, but the movement requires quite a wide step back. So it's not. So let me show what I'm referring to.
If
God, you're worse, eh? The
I
chest.
hate that chair. You know I do.
Yeah, it's probably going to roll back in you. But I'll just come closer. But if I just step here and I try to go down, my knee is already over my ankle. I'm already twisting. It's terrible, right? If I step wide and trust myself and drop down, yes, you're twisting, but my body is straight. I'm still getting the outside of that glute and targeting the right areas. So you've got to trust the wider step, and naturally you're going to twist. But that's, it is arguably a more complicated movement. I agree. So I'm not trying to detract from the statement, I think, by Lisa. But what I'm saying is you've got to trust the movement, trust your step, and get a wider step, because it's going to really, really help you. And then,
sorry, just to pop onto that one. There's nothing wrong with having a chair nearby for balance. I feel a lot of the movements,
absolutely,
you're a bit nervous about your balance. I love the thing about trusting your area, trusting yourself. I think that's phenomenal to empower you. If you need a chair for a little bit of balance, nothing wrong with it. You will get stronger. I think one thing people need to realize is that when you start doing the correct form, automatically your reps are going to be a little bit less, because you're going to be going slower, more controlled, which is what we want. But you're going to get stronger in a shorter space of time, because now you've done the correct form, you've activated the correct muscle groups, you haven't injured yourself, and you'll get stronger in a much shorter space of time, and you'll start trusting yourself more.
Exactly. It's such a solid point. Trevlin, just to speak to that comment there, my man. Sorry.
Trevlin is no.
My bad. I misread the. But to speak to that,
I think you read
that. Because this camera is right in my comment view. Yeah. Working out at home instead of the gym. Listen, I mean, I just did curtsy lunges, which is probably the most space you need for an exercise, literally. Even if I was to do a burpee broad jump, I wouldn't use as much space as I would use in a curtsy lunge. And I'm not trying to be harsh. What I'm saying, I hear you. Like, working out with more space is definitely easier. But 99.9% of our movements and workouts that we give you and provide you guys is absolutely doable in a small space. It's more about trusting that space, right?
Yeah. Trevlin's talking about needing more equipment. I don't know if you misread that.
No. Oh, maybe I'm looking. No, she says space is a problem when doing workouts at home instead of in the gym.
I don't. Sorry, I don't have that comment. I just saw that I need more equipment. Sorry, that's my bad.
No. Don't worry. Equipment as well. I mean, you as you advance, you're going to need more and more stuff, and they're going to be programs that you guys are going to get exposed to, which are going to require quite advanced. You can be relatively experienced, and your choice will either be to follow that in the gym or get more equipment for your home. It all depends on your space. I guess what I was trying to say was that we are geared towards small spaces. I mean, I instructed Amy the other day, and I've been to her house in the UK, and it's not a lot of space, right? Same with my apartments, but you can get it done. Lisa is asking, sorry, again, this camera. Can you replace lunges with squats? I have trouble balancing with lunges. What will I be missing out on? Domi, do you want to jump in there? I mean, you go first. I can always add.
So it's a twofold thing. You can pop the question back up there, Henny, just so that I can read the exact question there.
Yeah.
If you're struggling to balance with lunges, there's two alternatives you can do. You can have a table or high chair nearby to help counterbalance. Then you can still do a reverse lunge. So I would recommend reverse lunge over forward lunge. First of all, that'll be a little bit easier, holding onto the side. Or you don't have to do such a deep lunge. So we often speak to a full lunge. We're doing 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the hips. If you're wanting to do half that range, it won't require as much balance. But probably the biggest game changer that's going to come is your core contracting before you step back? If it's not, Yeah, if it's not, then your balance will be an issue. If you are contracting your core and you're breathing and then you step back, you'll find automatically you're a lot more stable. So again, it comes down to the core. If you're wanting to avoid lunges for a knee pain issue, again, a reverse lunge is a lot less anterior knee pressure if compared to a forward lunge. What I like about a lunge, never mind the strength benefit, I like the fact you also get a hip flexor stretch when you step back. You won't get that with a squat. You're going to be closing down your hip joint the whole time. So when you do a reverse lunge or a forward lunge, the opposite leg gets a lovely hip flexor stretch, is probably what we need more of in any case. Yeah. But yeah, that's
it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I've, as you know, hip flexors and hamstrings and glutes, all the important things really. I am weak, and well, weak to a certain extent, and it's amazing. Like when I do lunges, forward lunges, I actually feel it more, not on the front, not in my quad or my glutes. I feel it more in that back leg, the trailing leg hip flexor, and which just goes to show. Dami, there's this question there, I think, from Nancy. Can you just check it? I just want to show what you meant by holding on to something. I mean, if I'm here and I'm doing a reverse lunge, okay, that's, even for me, just straight off the bat, standing up, that required a bit of thinking. I thought, like, okay, contract core, stay nice and stable, weight distributed, and step back, right? It makes life, it's obviously going to be a lot easier. Look how simple this is. You just contract here. You probably use the chair closer to the leg that you're stepping back on, and you just step back, and then you can dictate from here, using the support, how deep or not that you want to go, right? Is that that's kind of what you were referring to in that? 100%. And obviously you spoke about not leaning forward and all of those kinds of things. What the other point was I was going to touch on, can't remember now.
There's a question from Julia on the lunge topic. Does holding a surface for balance take away from the exercise at all? Slightly, but I wouldn't say enough for you not to do it if your form isn't 100% without the chair or table. So if, for example, you're doing a reverse lunge and you're finding it quite a battle and you're falling all over the place, you can't hold it, you can't go as deep, but you're able to go deeper and hold it for longer, holding onto a chair, that's far more beneficial than your stability being all over the place.
Agree wholeheartedly. That, I mean, spot on, absolutely spot on. It's like doing a free weight, a dumbbell press in the gym versus doing and trying to go too heavy and you like falling over and trying to like, versus using I can't remember what they call the Smith's bar or whatever, that like it's an assisted bar which keeps everything level. That it's exactly the same concept. Definitely, basically what you said. If there, is Nancy asking if there's? Well,
no,
okay. No, it's not a question.
Space.
Good on you, Nancy. I like that. Guys, what I was going to talk about, and this is really, really important actually, because I find it right now, is that if you're doing these form courses, obviously we've probably said to you in the courses themselves, like, do these and film yourself. You need to understand, right? Yeah, we did say it. We spoke about watching yourself in the mirror, recording yourself and stuff. You need to understand that if you're not warmed up, you're gonna hate. It's not gonna be. So all this talk about why am I falling over on the lunge? Why am I doing this? Your core, your muscles, everything is not engaged. It's not switched on because you haven't warmed up. So yes, it's a form course, but I would suggest watching the course and then doing it once you've warmed up or post-workout. Even then, working on your form post-workout, pre-workout, but after a warm-up. And the classic example, Dami, again, I'm standing up and down here. But
I love it. No, go for it.
You know when we did, I do sprinter high knees.
Yes.
You know those ones. So you go 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Now I'm falling already because I haven't warmed up properly. I'm falling over and my hips aren't square because I'm not warm. My core isn't engaged. I'm not engaged the right. It's the same thing with these things, like a reverse lunge. If someone said to me right now, go into a reverse lunge with a press, like I'm going to struggle to do that properly without sacrificing form because I'm not warm. So a lot of these questions around the lunge in particular, but others that relate to, especially I know we do a lot in the complex form as well. It's a lot of it is going to come down to whether you're activating the correct muscle groups, and in order to do that, you have to be warm. You can't just go straight from sitting in an office and be like, okay, now I'm going to practice, a devil's press or something. Like, no, you're going to get injured, or like you know what I mean. So made the point.
I feel something our community needs to know before you do, for example, a 30-minute workout. Sometimes the warm-up is not sufficient. So before you start, you should at least be limbering up a bit, shake your fingers, getting some blood flow, bit of spinal twisting. And then even after your workout, it's so important for you to stretch. Remember, we've got 3 minutes to give you cardio, 30-minute high-intensity interval. We want to encourage you afterwards to stretch a little bit. I know in Pilates, I've got a little bit more time to do that. But when it comes to like HIIT, it's up to you. We've got boosters in the app. Stretch a little bit. The stretching part is probably really, really important as much as the warming up. Greg,
100.
can I use you
please
a model?
Use me.
So Lisa's asking, you can stay there for a sec to help me navigate, to try to figure it out. So Lisa's asking, I've got the question here. She says, another one I struggle with is side sit-ups or side bridge. I think that's a side plank.
Okay, so our side sit-ups is like a oblique crunch, which I can show. And then I love those. They're good, classic boxing one. And it's a tiny movement. A side plank is. Did you cover side plank in your course?
Not extensively. So I think it could be quite beneficial to show. Yes, side plank it is. That's what Lisa's saying. So, Greg, can you show us a full side plank and then a side plank where you've got the bottom leg knee bent and that knee is on the ground?
And I'll show. Okay, so I'll start at the top. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
First things first. You want to. This part of your body, your torso, wants to be in a straight line. So that's why we often say put your hand up. It makes it a little bit harder, but it forces you to keep your shoulders in line. Otherwise, what happens is you lean forward, right? We don't want that. That's the first thing. Second thing is you can't really see my feet, but there. So you're going to be in a normal full side plank. You're going to be 1 foot on top of the other. Okay, and you're going to come up into the position. Okay, now here is not where you want to be. You want to try and pull your hips up as much as you can whilst not rotating forward. Okay, so you want to sit in that position. Now, there are a couple of things. Firstly, you can do this. It's going to help you keep that, like I said, your torso straight. The second thing that's going to make it a little bit easier is this top leg. You bring that forward here, and it's going to give you a little bit more balance. Okay, and then finally, and finally, Dom, you said drop my inside leg.
Drop the bottom leg, bend the knee backwards of that bottom leg.
Yeah.
Now lift the hips up. There we go. Okay. I do that a lot in Pilates because then I start loading with weights at the arms, for example.
You do the pull throughs and stuff. Yeah. So I can tell you right now that last variation of that side plank, it's quite funny because again I'm not warmed up, but it's quite interesting that I felt it immediately more in my obliques when I did your version than the support version where you bring your leg over to support you. I don't know if that's just me, but maybe there's an interesting point there. And funny enough, do you know where I started feeling it as well there, which is bad. It means I'm not using my obliques. No, I felt it in that leg that was bent because I felt myself using my glutes to push my I mean. Anyway, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Gosh, my form.
I see Marietta says very informative. Pammy's saying it's so informative as well.
Nice.
Nan says she still warms up for the session. So no, it's amazing. I think what's very important here is we don't want you to get wrapped up in quantity of reps. I think that's something Greg and I are very important, like push a lot. Quality of your exercise, and then once you've got the quality right, then you can start pushing that intensity. But we're always going to say quality over quantity, quality of your movement. You're going to feel it more, less chance of injury, and also I think you're going to enjoy the exercise more because it's really going to burn. Like, you're going to feel it no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of this that we talk about. How much time do we have? Like 2 minutes. A lot of what we're talking about as well is comes down to your own outlook on it, and like not trying to compete with someone else. You know how many times I've been in a workout where I feel like I'm being too slow, so I speed up, knowing that I'm not going as deep as I should on the squat, or I'm not like a jump lunge. I'm not doing a full jump lunge. I'm basically just doing crisscross like jumping because I'm trying to, and you need to you need to respect the fact that everybody is different. Siri and I were talking about it earlier. Like, if you're taller, you naturally have got longer levers. It's going to be harder for you to do things like burpees or push-ups because you've got longer levers. You're pushing a much further distance than someone who's shorter and got shorter arms. And that's just a scientific fact.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing. Sorry, after your train of thought, then I'll tell you why I'm laughing at that.
No, that's it. That was me. That was me done.
So the one morning quick story time. I instructed Nick for a 6 a.m. session, and I put an EMOM in. And I think one of them, there were some burpees, there were some thrusters. And in the session, Nick was like, I couldn't get through it in the minutes. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do my own session and we'll see how much time I have left. Like, almost like I was getting a bit sassy because I was like, no, you just need to start upping your intensity. I kid you not, I had 10 seconds more recovery. And it's because he's convinced doing a burpee, pushing down, longer arms, coming back up, bringing his legs back in. He's like, your burpees took so much quicker because you've got short legs and short arms. And he got so sassy about it. But it's true. Like, I looked at it because he's about like 1.8 or something.
Did you both do chest to floor?
We did. I chested to floor.
Interesting. Listen, I agree with Nick because I've just said the exact same thing.
That's what I'm laughing.
But also we then have to consider, I'm tall, but I'm also taller, and therefore you naturally, whether just by the virtue of your frame, you're going to have more muscle mass. So you can weigh one off against the other and say like, well, power to weight ratio. Oh, we could get complex about this. I'm not going to, but that is an interesting topic for sure.
Team, Greg and I could chat all day, and I feel like we're gonna.
Yeah, we could.
So if you've got any questions, please pop in. I see Leslie also joined us, said it's very informative, which is awesome. Greg, just one quick thing. I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed the first week of Bend Don't Break.
Tommy, I'm loving it. It's partly being in Cape Town, I think, and seeing you. What have I seen you twice since I've been down, and I'm seeing you tomorrow.
Me twice, yeah. No, you see me once, but it was a fun day. It was from 5 a.m. till 5 p.m.
Yes. No, so I'm absolutely loving it, but also I'm just loving the energy coming from the community. I think, there's so much to be stressed about, and you can always focus on the negatives and all of those things, and we're here to support you through that and try and get you to focus on what you can control. And I think I just feel a lot of positive energy coming out, which is really, really cool. So well done, basically, team. Well done. And keep it up. Don't let that novelty wear off. I say it all the time. Week one is always great and easy, but the hard work comes in towards the end. And it's the same thing in like a workout. The hard work, where it counts, that's when it gets difficult, is where it counts. Muhammad Ali used to say, I don't start counting when I reach a number. I start counting when I get tired.
Yes, I love that one.
So he'll do sit-ups, and they'll be like, how many do you do at a time? He'll be like, I don't know, I only start counting when I get tired. I mean, beautiful. It's incredible. Great, one of the world's greatest athletes. Anyway.
But you also said that a lot in the boxing challenge. You said, I want the same energy that you start with. I want you to end with that energy. And every time you said that, like it did trigger something. Like I stuck, and I remember it very well.
No, exactly. Domi,
Right?
goodness gracious, it's good to see you all angelic in your golden hour look there. And I am very excited to see you tomorrow. And team, join us. Saturday live workout. Woo! Miss Seri and Kath are going to be rocking it out. So be there and just come and join us. It's going to be epic. Go look on the app and find the event, press attend, and we'll see you there.
But I'll see you on Sunday as well for the family day.
Yeah. Yes, indeedy. Dummy.
Thanks, Greg. We're only 5 minutes over. It's a record.
Yeah, it's good for us.
It's normal. Listen, thank you so much. And team, we will see you very soon. Thank you, Greg.
See you soon. Ciao for now.